Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of the ShanGod podcast here on YouTube. So today I have with me Srinath Gupta, who is a dear friend of mine, who is also doing his engineering from Pillai College, and he's here. So a brief disclaimer: he's a friend of friend. So as you are going to meet Srinath, I am also meeting him for the first time. So this is going to be a very interesting conversation. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And with that, Srinath, tell us something about yourself, man. What's going on?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you so much for inviting me onto the podcast. I'm very thankful. And I hope everyone who's listening to this or viewing this on YouTube, they are safe. They are actually maintaining all the COVID restrictions. So that is something. So talking about myself, currently I'm working as an intern at my college. So I'm working as a Flutter developer and a Flask developer as well. So what I'm primarily doing right now is basically gamification of extracurricular activities that are happening at our campus and trying to build a system on that and the payment systems across institute. So what we have, we actually the Mahatma Education Society, which is the grandparent of the Pillai College, has various campuses across Maharashtra. So you'll find one in Rasaini, that is somewhere far away from Panvel. Then we
Okay.
have one in Panvel,
Mhm.
and then we have some in Chembur and so on. So we are trying to design a system that can be implemented across these campuses, and that basically helps a student to engagement more into extracurricular activities apart from their academics. So that is what is going on right now.
That is really interesting. So, how are we, like my basic question would be, how are you going to gamify what are extracurricular activities you're going to gamify?
Okay, okay. That's a really good question. So, where this gamification model has been existing for quite a lot of time. So, we'll find various applications built around it. So, you'll find applications that actually reward you for doing a particular task. They give you badges, they give you progress bar for every activity that you do. Let's say, for example, let's take a gym application. Okay. So, what you can do in that, in terms of gamification, you can have a progress bar for how many workout they did as compared to the months, okay, in the day. Then you can give them badges so that they feel interactive enough that they are working hard to earn those things. It's kind of like gamification.
Basically,
Uh,
giving an incentive. So,
yeah,
will there
incentive. Correct,
so
correct.
kind of coins or in-game coins, like some
Yeah,
games
yeah,
give you
correct, correct.
coins to play the game,
So
something like that.
I can't actually talk about in depth about it. Actually, did concern I talked to about this with my respective faculties. So I can't talk much about it, but I'll say something that the extracurricular activity gamification is basically linked with the payment system as well. So uh, what we are looking right now is a 6 months long project. If we are able to do it in 6 months, we'll have a very good product ready for across campus. And I hope that we are able to do that. And if we are able to do that, it will be very awesome. And I think everybody will get inspired from it and try to create such applications for their campuses as well.
That's pretty cool. That I've not heard this like in any campus elsewhere. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is one of the new initiatives that has been started, and I hope that we are able to actually complete it and actually make it usable for other people as well.
so have you signed a non-disclosure agreement with your college?
As it's not like completely a agreement kind of thing, but I did talk to myself that I talk it about it in public. So he was like, no man, you can't do it right now.
Okay,
Let's just build something and let's just show the world what we are thinking, so that will be a lot better.
right, right,
So that is something.
right. That's understandable. So that's pretty interesting. So coming to your college, so how did you get into Pillai? So like, how was your 10th? How was your process after
So
that?
yeah, yeah. So up till 10th, or I would say ninth, I didn't had a clue what I was going to do. I was like I was like just another child, just going through my academic life. School जाता था, tuition जाता था, घर आता था, खेलता था. That's it. Nothing more. No
पर स्कूल
extra.
में स्कूल में से हॉबीज या कोई गेम, तुम
No,
स्पोर्ट?
nothing as such. Nothing as such that I
बट
would.
यू आर अ गुड स्टूडेंट, लाइक ऐसा टॉप 10 टॉप 5 में कंसिस्टेंट?
Nine. I was pretty average. I would say. I would say
ओके.
I was pretty average introvert student. I had a very small circle of friends that I talked to. That is something I'm working on right now. Trying to be a more sociable person. So as we were talking about the journey, so up till 10th, 9th, I was like कुछ पता नहीं, just करने का 10th के बाद देख लेंगे. So at the so right around 5th or 6th, my dad actually bought a PC for our house. So I was very interested because before that we were if we wanted to play games, we would go to cafe. We would just sit around cafes and see other people play games. So I was very excited about that. So so when we got our first PC, it was very cool to see that. And after that, actually we used the it was an all-in-one PC.
ओके.
So it was something that I was looking upgrade as well. So how could I upgrade this? Because I asked one of my friends, I want to play this game. How can I play it? It's not playing well. So he was like, "Terko you have to upgrade this thing. You have to upgrade your hard. You have
ग्राफिक्स
to
कार्ड.
upgrred your graphics card, your CPU. You have to upgrade your hard drive as well for more storage." So what I did, I told my parents that ऐसा upgrade करना पड़ेगा. तो मतलब as I didn't tell them the reason behind it कि हाँ गेम खेलने के लिए, मैं बोला सही है. So
पर
one of my
पेरेंट्स ने
cousins.
सुन लिया, फिर पूछा नहीं आगे क्वेश्चन, लीडिंग क्वेश्चन पूछा नहीं?
No, so at that point, the PC, the desktop got, it was not working properly. So we actually called one of our cousins who actually was working, in this sector. So I
ओके.
asked him कि ये है, मेरे दोस्त ने ये चिट्ठी लिख के दिया है, इसके अंदर ये है. Could we do this inside of this? So he didn't tell me anything at that point. After that, my dad told me that for this you will need to buy another PC because this is an all-in-one PC. You can't remove stuff because it's hard sorted over the board. You can't upgrade all of this stuff. So I was like disheartened. क्या हो गया मतलब क्या करें? So after that that PC got damaged somehow. So we had another PC. So that got damaged as well.
ओके.
So
ये
so
कौन
right
सा
around that
कंपनी
time.
का कर रहे थे तुम लोग यूज?
No, so the major problem was actually electricity that was there in my
अच्छा.
house. It was not connected to ground or something. That was something of issue at issue right there. But coming to the story itself, so that also got damaged. Not damaged, was specifically it was not working properly. So I used to tinker around with the hardware as well. Just ऐसे ही देखता था कि क्या कर सकते हैं. Can I remove this? If I remove this, what will happen? Just exploring the PC as well, all throughout the motherboard, the CPU. So I used to remove everything. PSU, everything I
So
used to remove.
you were showing engineering science कि
Yeah,
सब
yeah.
खोल देता है, ये सब खोल
Yes, yes. Just खोल देते और करते हैं. So many of the times, what happened was I used to remove everything. I used to disassemble everything, right from the motherboard to the CPU, and I used to reassemble it, and voila, it would work then. Automatically it would work. I was like crazy man. How is this possible?
मैंने अभी खोला,
So
अभी चल रहा है, मेरे हाथ में
yeah,
जादू है.
yes, yes. So after that, I actually started learning into this hardware stuff a bit more. So I came across Linus Tech Tip, Tech
अच्छा.
Quickie channel, his Tech Quickie channel. That was something very fascinating. So after that, I was like, अभी लगता है एक पैशन मिल गया है जिसको फॉलो कर सकते हैं और वो
अच्छा.
कंप्यूटर्स लग है. ठीक है. At that time,
ओके.
my brother was also doing the same. He was actually pursuing engineering. He was not pursuing at the moment, but he was in 12th taking science and he was studying this programming stuff as well. So I was like, हाँ इसमें कर सकते हैं. मतलब कर सकते हैं. अभी 10th के बाद और ऑप्शन दिख रहा है क्या? So
Okay.
right around after 10th, so we have this gap, right? So where
Chutti
before you
होती है.
join college. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, correct. So my brother, so I was sitting there in home and doing nothing. Nothing is so important. So my brother told me that एक काम कर, तू ऐसे बैठे मत रह. You need to learn something. Go. There is this computer institute over there. Go learn programming over there.
MSc
So
IT.
not MSc नहीं,
Okay.
programming से.
Okay.
Okay,
Program.
MSc something. So he was like MSc तो सब करते हैं, तो वो मत कर, तेरे को उतना तो आता रहेगा, उतना फोन तो नहीं है तू, तो एक काम कर, तो प्रोग्रामिंग सीख ले. So I was like ठीक है. So he came with me at the institute and we talked about. So they actually offered us to actually learn C. So I was like C and C++. These are the languages they offered us to learn. So I was like cool, चलेगा, करेंगे. So there was this sir over there. His name is Sandesh sir. I don't know his full name. I used to refer him as Sandesh sir. So he was one of the Android developers working freelance Android developers. He was working on. He used to actually show us various applications he has worked on, various websites he has worked on. So he was a very cool mentor there.
Okay.
So let me. So I sat for the course, and I see this kid who is in ninth, who is going to be attending 10th in his next year. So he was also there, and I was like, बच्चे लोग भी करता है, ये लोग
Inferiority complex.
Inferiority complex था, ठीक है. So then we started doing the course, and I was like कुछ समझ नहीं रहा. I was like just doing stuff. कि हाँ मतलब ये प्रोग्राम रन करने वाला, somehow इधर उधर से देख के
करना है, ये वेरिएबल में असाइन करना है,
ये करना है. So I used to know, I didn't get a single program concept, but I somehow did make it across. So I did complete the course. So at the end of the course, the sir asked me, क्या लगता है तेरे को, आता सब कुछ, समझा तेरे को सब कुछ? I was like, सच बोलने का समझ आ गया? नहीं सर, नहीं आता कुछ भी, कुछ समझा नहीं. So he was kind enough to let me do the course again without charging me. He was like, हम लोग वापस से करते, इस बार तेरे को सब कुछ समझाएंगे, और जो तू भी करेगा ना तो समझ के कर, और वैसे कंटिन्यू कर. So I'm very grateful for him. Actually, he actually inspired me to continue programming. Still, I was finding it hard in the first go. He was like, नहीं तू कर सकता है, you can go. So he was my first mentor.
So he saw something in you, which So second time around तुझे समझा या नहीं समझा?
हाँ समझा. I wouldn't say everything, but हाँ decent enough knowledge to decent enough कि मतलब I can do some stuff on my own. Basically logic building थोड़ा बहुत सिखा दिया था. हाँ logic building, syntax तो basically the things you need to remember, right? I was very great at remembering them. So at that point, at that same institute, I met some other people as well. So they were actually pursuing engineering and stuff. So they actually introduced me to diploma. So they said that there is course that you can do after 10th, and you should do that if you want to have a career over this industry. So I was like, cool, करेंगे अपन ये करेंगे. Instead of doing 11th 12th, we'll do this, because 11th 12th के बाद JEE देना पड़ता है, ठीक है. और अब
I didn't actually. Was that the only reason कि JEE नहीं देना है इसलिए डिप्लोमा किया?
No. That wasn't the reason I was thinking about as well. I was not thinking about. I was like हाँ मतलब ये लोग ने बोला डिप्लोमा करने का है तो ठीक है, मतलब अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी रहेगा. So I did actually ask various other people about it, and they were like, cool, it's a very cool thing that you can do for 3 years, and you'll basically get technical knowledge. And as I said कि मेरे को हार्डवेयर में ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट था, I was more into technical stuff. So I was like क्या 11th 12th में अपना फिजिक्स या मैथ्स या केमिस्ट्री सीखेगा, उससे अच्छा अपन ये करते हैं. We'll try this. So I chose diploma to do. So diploma admission starts very late. So my dad actually also asked me that तेरे को करना है ना डिप्लोमा तो कर, बट एक काम कर तू 11th 12th का भी फॉर्म भर. फॉर्म भर के. So yes, I did that. After that, what happened was for diploma, I actually filled the form incorrectly. So there's this option called TWFS, that basically waives off your tuition fee if you have good enough percentage. So
Right.
what I read was तुम्हारा tuition fee waive off हो जाएगा. So I was like tick. I didn't see कि हाँ
कितना
percentage होना
परसेंटेज
चाहिए,
चाहिए? हाँ.
इतना percentage होना चाहिए तुम्हारा. I didn't
Right.
see. I was like ठीक है. So that form carried out through 3 rounds, 3 cap rounds. Okay. So I didn't get admission anywhere in the diploma institutes. So my father told me एक काम करते हैं institute में जाते हैं और देखते हैं. We'll go to different institutes that are close by. So and see whether there is a seat available offline.
Right.
So I went to Vivekanand, Swami Vivekanand, which is at Chembur. So we filled a form over there and did all the stuff. Okay. Then I went to Vidyalankar. So it's a very fun story. Okay. So I went to Vidyalankar and there was this faculty member who was sitting, and she actually told my father that कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग में मिलना मुश्किल है, आप एक काम करो इसको इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में दिला दो, बहुत दोनों सेम है, बच्चे लोगों को क्या मालूम है, वो लोग को तो बस गेम खेलना आता है. I was like I was sitting right beside him. I was like हाँ ठीक है, मतलब सुन के लेते हैं बस, तो कुछ बोल नहीं सकते at the moment. So my father was like ठीक है देखते हैं अपन, एक राउंड बाकी है. There was this 4th round as well at that moment, that you can create a fresh form, in which that tuition waiver all the thing will be discarded basically.
Right.
So I felt that and that faculty member actually did told my father that कि इसको इधर तो एडमिशन नहीं मिलेगा कंप्यूटर्स में, लिख के ले लो, ठीक है. And the morning that the result declares, I go and I see कि भाई क्या रिजल्ट निकला. I see हाँ विद्यालंकर ही लगा है, विद्यालंकर. And the fun fact is, she was one of my faculty in the first year, so she did remember my name throughout my journey, throughout my campus over there.
And did she come to apologize to you or anything?
Nah, that didn't happen. But it is a kind of story that I can tell everyone. Okay, कि हाँ भाई कुछ it is not something, there is no moral over here. It is something कि हाँ भाई बहुत cool story है मेरे life का ये वाला part.
Basically लोगों ने underestimate किया, पर वही हो गया.
ये तो कितना भी हो, मतलब मिल तो गया भाई.
मिल गया, वही. बहुत सही.
And in diploma first year, I was like, so we had this subject called CMF, which is Computer Fundamentals. So we had a very cool faculty for that. So what happened? He was asking questions, and coming from a very deep dive into PCs, all the parts as well. So he was asking questions, and I was like, हाँ sir आता है, हाँ sir आता है, हाँ sir आता है. I was like raising hand throughout the session. So from after that session, after that class, everyone was like, हाँ भाई तेरे को आता है, and I was
तो टॉपर बन गया.
तू टॉपर बनेगा. I was like मेरे को कंप्यूटर आता है, मेरे को उसके आगे कुछ नहीं आता है, ठीक है. मेरे को फिजिक्स मैथ्स कुछ नहीं आता, मेरे को छोड़ दे तुम लोग.
डिप्लोमा में किधर फिजिक्स मैथ्स रहता है वैसे?
In the first year you have.
अच्छा,
in the first year.
अच्छा.
Yeah, for the first year the course is same across branches. Computers, IT and electronics is the same. We have physics, we have chemistry, we have maths, we have English as well. So these are the common
subjects. वो first year engineering को भी same होता है across all streams.
हाँ, yeah, correct. So so after that people knew कि हाँ भाई इसको बस कंप्यूटर आता है, उसके आगे कुछ नहीं आता है इसको. Physics chemistry average है.
Would you like to thank Linus Tech Tips for this?
Yeah, actually I'm a big fan of him.
I actually like a friend of mine is also a big fan, so I recently discovered him over a year back, I think. So मैं उसके थोड़े वीडियोस देखता हूँ, पर इतना भी नहीं.
Watch his tech videos. So he has a channel.
I know. He has many channels. He has that podcast.
Yeah, he has
also.
very his story is also inspiring. He was actually working in the same company that was creating such kind of content, I believe. So therein what happened was, so they were building, they were creating some software. So he actually asked one of the development teams, why this button is over there, that is increasing my use case. So
Mm-hmm.
that is increasing my time to spend upon the software. So then he tagged his CTO as well, or the CEO, C executive he tagged, and he was like कि हाँ, सी एग्जीक्यूटिव वाज लाइक टू लाइनस कि नहीं, हाँ हमको चाहिए एक्स्ट्रा बटन, एक्स्ट्रा
Mm-hmm.
क्लिक्स चाहिए हम लोग को इसकी वजह से. So after that he started his own venture. uh, so that is his stories is very inspiring. If you get
Right.
to hear about it, I would recommend anyone to actually hear about his stories as well. Now he has grown so much, he has grown exponentially,
I know,
and
I
he
know.
has, yes,
He has like he's a YouTube mogul now. He's like one of the
yeah,
YouTube OGs. So he's been
yeah,
around for a long time as well.
yeah, correct.
So
And the way he explains various concepts in a
hmm,
funny manner, it's very different from what all the content you'll see about tech, especially hardware, available on these platforms. He was very unique at that time, very funny, and and it was very enjoyable to watch his content, even if you didn't understand the entire thing, but you would pick
you
on
would
some
enjoy.
of the
It was
concept.
entertaining.
Yes, it was very entertaining.
Got it. Yeah, I can see that in his videos as well. So another question I had. So you were into like to पूरा computers में था from like 9th 10th standard. तो तेरे फ्रेंड्स तेरे जो भी फ्रेंड्स अराउंड है उन लोग ने भी डिप्लोमा किया और दे वेंट देयर सेपरेट वेज वो कैसे
So
फिगर आउट हुआ.
uh, so talking about that, so as I said कि मेरा बहुत small circle था, ज्यादा लोग थे नहीं. And जैसे 10th हुआ, उसके बाद से सबका connection टूट गया. मतलब I was not in contact with the school friends that I had.
ओके.
uh, I just had one other friend who was also looking for admission in diploma. So he has taken up electronics because he thought that electronics hardware. He likes hardware more. I used to like hardware, but not that electronics various stuff. I was like, हाँ ठीक है, cool enough है, but अपने लिए नहीं है इतना.
राइट.
So he took admission at that, and yeah.
ओके. सो सिंस देन हैव यू like got in touch with किसी से बात हुई बाद में.
नहीं, अभी जस्ट एक दो इनसे हुआ है बात. तो बहुत एक दो पर्सन से बात हुआ है. और या यस, रेगुलर लाइफ, दे आर आल्सो वर्किंग नाउ इन सम कंपनी.
सो
एंड
माय
इट्स
पॉइंट
बिन
बीइंग
गोइंग
कि तो
गुड.
पूरे फ्रेंड सर्कल में ऐसा नहीं था कि तू किसी का देख के कंप्यूटर्स में घुस गया. इट वाज
नहीं
योर
नहीं नहीं
एक्चुअल
नहीं, इट वाज
पैशन.
समथिंग ऑन माय ओन. किसी का नहीं देखा. इवन दो माय ब्रदर वाज स्टडीइंग कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग एट द टाइम, when I had to take up the decision what I'm going to pursue, I didn't actually look up to him कि हाँ भाई ये कर रहा है तो मैं कर लूंगा. And I actually kind of advise this to all of the people who are are going through this phase where they have to decide what they have to pursue in their future. Make sure that you do your research first. Even anything that you do, let's say you are even for my case, even if you are going for diploma, research about it. Research about it. What is going to be taught to you in this course, and what are the alternatives to it? Is that do you actually want to do it?
Right.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is I have people who are my friends of diploma who didn't actually choose this profession. They were like, माँ बाप ने भेज दिया,
Mm-hmm.
या तो किसी ने बोला ये बहुत अच्छा फील्ड है, एंड दे वेंट. एंड नाउ I wouldn't say they are struggling, but
They
they are
aren't
not
finding
happy.
it as
Yeah,
interesting as they would
they are
like it
not
to.
in love with the passion that I am with. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my friend who is very good in design, he likes design from the very start, but he didn't actually pay attention when he was choosing courses. So basically diploma, he chose diploma, right?
Right.
So he didn't actually look into, he just saw कि computer engineering है तो design का
Mm-hmm.
थोड़ा बहुत रहेगा ही रहेगा. So that with that mentality you shouldn't go. You should
So
actually,
I have a leading question to this. Do you feel that 16-year-olds जब भी 10th में आते तभी 16 या 15 उम्र होती है बच्चों की, do you think that they are experienced enough to take that big decision कि मुझे डिप्लोमा करना है या फिर मुझे 5 साल बाद कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग में ही पैशन होगा? और डू यू फील कि थोड़ा फ्लेक्सिबल होना चाहिए कि इवन इफ यू वांट टू स्विच कोर्सेज कि अभी मुझे कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग करके भी नहीं नहीं जम रहा है, तो अभी मैं 18 का हो गया, मुझे थोड़ा वर्ड पता है कि एग्जैक्टली कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग क्या होता है, अभी मुझे लग रहा है मुझे लेट्स से फिल्म मेकिंग में जाना है, तो डू यू फील 15 या 16 एज की उम्र में इट इज़ द राइट टाइम टू मेक दैट बिग ऑफ अ डिसीजन?
सो what I would say is कि जैसे मैंने कहा कि थोड़ा बहुत रिसर्च करके रखो, and there is no shame. There are people I have seen who find it shameful that they have done diploma and they haven't continued with engineering, or they have chose some different path from what the conventional path was. Okay, so I find that people, some other people are actually telling them कि हाँ भाई तूने ये तो किया, but इसके आगे तेरे को डिग्री करना चाहिए था, वो क्यों नहीं किया, क्या मतलब? They laugh at them. I'm like, क्या हंस रहे हो तुम लोग? मतलब it is I totally accept that at the age of 15 or 16 or any age, I think at any age you can't say कि हाँ ये rest of the life में करेगा, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. ऐसा possible नहीं है, ठीक है? It's not possible. But you have to be with that mentality कि अगर you are choosing for the next 5 years, you see something in it, and if you see after completing those number of years, if you feel like कि नहीं अभी ये नहीं करना है, मेरे को फिल्म मेकिंग में जाना है, या मेरे को फोटोग्राफी करना है, या मेरे को डिजाइनर बनना है, या तो मेरे को कुछ और ही करना है, मेरे को बिजनेस खोलना है, so don't be shameful कि what society will tell you or what your friends will tell you about it, about your decision. Just go with it, because they are not going to stick by you. Okay, they are not going to be sticking by you for long if they are talking like this in present with you.
Right.
So I would say do what you think is the best, and do your research. A solid research is needed no matter what you do. A solid research is needed.
That's pretty verbose, like well explained, like how the society interacts with the pressure.
Yeah, I have some friends who are actually who have faced these issues, but some of them are proud of that what the decision that they made, but some are not. So through this podcast, I would like to say that any decision that you are making, be sure that you're making it with your own research, backed by your own research. Not someone is telling you to that हाँ ये करेगा तो ये है. Not follow that advice. Do your own research and don't fall into the pets of your friends saying कि हाँ you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. Do what you like, man, because they are not the people who will actually stick by you for long.
Right, that's pretty accurate. So I'll come back to engineering again. So one of the main questions I have is लोग डिप्लोमा प्लस डिग्री स्टूडेंट्स को अलग नज़रिए से देखते हैं क्या कंपेयर टू जो 10+2 करके डिग्री करते हैं? हायरिंग के टाइम या फिर जॉब इंटरव्यूज के टाइम?
हायरिंग के टाइम पे इट डजंट मैटर, क्योंकि what as far the placement that I have interviews that I have attended for, there is no difference. They actually see your skills over there, or they actually test you by the various tests that they keep. Okay, so if they have a verbal and writing test, so they will judge you based on that. They will never differentiate based on he has done diploma or he has done 12. But the thing is, the knowledge that you get from diploma from a technical standpoint is very very strong, whereas when you are coming from 12th and doing engineering, because what happens is in the 3 years of 3 year of course of diploma, you already have an idea. Okay, and when you come into engineering, you get a more clear picture of it. So that makes your technical hand very strong.
Got it. So basically, you get a head start for engineering when you
you get a head start. And right now, as Rohan also talked about this in the previous podcast, right now the admission seats have been reduced by half. So it was 20% reserved quota for diploma students. Now it has been reduced 10. So from that perspective, through the perspective of only admissions, it's not a viable choice. It's not a viable choice for the future for any student who are looking to choose between diploma at 12th. But I would say from a knowledge standpoint of view, it is very good. It is very good. It is very
Okay.
good.
Okay.
It is 12th will never be able to match the kind of technical depth that you get from,
Mhm.
diploma.
So basically, when you do a diploma, you're committing yourself to a more technical domain.
You're committing yourself to a niche that you are
Right.
going to become a professional in this industry,
Got
a
it.
industry that actually that keeps you very humble about yourself, because it's evolving day by day. Every day you see there is new thing coming out there, so that it is one of the best industry.
Mhm.
That will never allow you to grow an ego, because if you
Right.
have ego in this industry,
You
you'll not
can't
be able to
survive.
survive. You
Yeah.
can't survive.
Yeah.
Let's say a person says कि हाँ I know this
ये मेरे से
technology very
छोटा
well.
है,
uh,
वो भी सीन
uh,
होता है कि he's a junior to me, how
no,
can he
no.
know more, वो भी सीन होता है.
So I can give you an example of this. There are people who are way less in age than me and know more about the technology that I have been working for the
Yeah,
past 2 years.
exactly. Bro,
Yes.
भाई 14 साल के बंदे स्टार्टअप खोल रहे हैं. ऐसा
Yeah.
कभी
So
कभी शर्म आती है, पर क्या कर सकते हैं, ठीक है.
it
It is what it is.
is what it is, man. And you don't have to compare yourself. That's bring me to another good point. Don't compare yourself or don't compare your journey with the other people, because the obstacles that you have faced, they have never faced. Okay, they may have faced
You are
a
a
different
different
variant of
person
it.
as well. You
Yeah,
can't
you are a
put
very
the
different
same
person.
test to everyone.
Yeah. So don't compare yourself. Do what you do what is needed. Don't just see around कि हाँ भाई इसने तो इतना टाइम में इतना अचीव कर लिया, मैं तो कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. And don't go to that road कि हाँ अभी
God.
मेरे से तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, मेरे को छोड़ देना चाहिए. ऐसा कुछ ही मत करो. Stick around for long. अगर आप stick around long enough करते हो, then you'll see the result. वरना ऐसा short term success देख के दूसरे लोग का is not the clear way to go. And when you talk about social media over here, a lot of people, what they do is actually fake out stuff. Okay,
Mhm.
it is one of the things that I've shared in my tweets as well. That people actually fake out stuff, that they know this technology very well. So when you look at that profile, you're like कि हाँ भाई, अरे भाई को ये भी आता है, ये भी आता है, क्या ये भी आता है, सब आता है इसको,
सब
मतलब
आता है,
क्या बच्चा क्या है, सब आता है इसको तो. और the way the image of the person is presented to you, you are like कि हाँ इसको तो he is the god, मतलब इसको तो कुछ नहीं. But when you actually get to know the person and when you
Mhm.
talk technical with the person, then you get to know कि हाँ उसका कितना hand है over the technology. Okay,
Right.
so
Basically, it is a
don't.
facade, whatever there,
Yeah,
and
for
it
sure.
may or may not
Correct.
be true.
May not be true. Correct. So
So,
don't. What I will say is don't
mhm.
compare yourself with others in terms of tech journey, because everyone has a different tech journey of their own. Mine is different. You'll find someone who has put in way less time and has achieved a lot more than me, but that's just him or her, and this is what me.
Right. I'd agree with you on that. Yeah, it gets pretty dark when you start comparing yourself to others.
Yeah.
So coming to Twitter and tweets, I went through a lot of your tweets and they were pretty interesting. You're not only like तू फ्लटर पे ही सीमित नहीं है, तो फ्लास्क करता है, फिर तू वेब 3 के बारे में ट्वीट कर रहा था, देन you're working on decentralized applications, you're working on blockchain. So
Yeah.
what are your interests currently, or what technology are you bullish on, or you think it is going to be important in the next few years?
So talking about one of the interesting thing that I would like to share is that people don't stick around with technology, even if it's the hype one or even it's the oldest one. You don't actually associate with itself. Okay, don't associate yourself with that technology. कि हाँ मैं सिर्फ जावा करेगा, मेरे को जावा आया था, जावा जावा मेरी वाइफ है, मैं उसका साथ कभी नहीं छोड़ेगा, ऐसा मत
Mm-hmm.
करो. You are a programmer and these are all your tools. बस तुम्हारे टूल्स हैं, उनको टूल्स की तरह इस्तेमाल करो, उनको अच्छे से जानो, उनको वो कैसे काम करते हैं वो सब जानो. बट नेवर डू दिस कि हाँ मेरे को सिर्फ यही करना है, मेरे को ऐप डेवलपमेंट में ही करियर बनाना है, मेरे को इसमें करियर, मेरे को वेब में ही करियर बनाना है. ऐसा ना सोचो. तो सबसे बेस्ट है, बिकॉज this makes you flexible first of all,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually lets you, when you, let's say, uh, I'm doing a mobile, I have done mobile as well and web as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I meet people who come from a web background, it is way less easy, way easier for me to explain them concepts of mobile development, because I had the experience of web development as well.
Right.
So I
So
think people,
basically, the more you specialize in technology, the more rigid you start becoming.
yeah,
Is
in the
would
initial
that be a
stage,
right?
in the beginning stage. So if you are someone who is just starting out their journey, don't stick around with one technology. Hop around, see what's new, and see what the problem they are solving. Let's say you see Python and you see Java. Learn the difference on your, find the difference on your own. Don't just look up
Mm-hmm.
on the internet कि Java versus Python क्या होता है,
Mm-hmm.
and just हाँ उधर आंसर देख लिया कि Python is better, so I'll go with Python. ऐसा मत करो, तुम दोनों सीखो. Because right now is the time when you're in engineering, or when you're in diploma, or when you're in early stage of this tech journey of yours, you have the freedom of exploring various other things and find what's yours, what's truly yours. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So another thing I wanted to ask is, you were talking about tech, and so what are you currently working on? What are your current projects?
So as I mentioned before, I'm currently working on that, on the gamification of extracurricular activities at my college, and I'm also working with one of my freelance client. I'm building a application for them, which it's a course application basically. So wherein they will be selling their own courses that they have based on a subscription model they are keeping. So that is
Okay.
something right now I'm working on.
And any
Mostly it's
personal projects?
for the personal projects. Most of my projects are something that I abandoned. It is a little shameful to say, but
No, I think I'm in the same boat. So basically, what the creative process as a coder or as a developer is, you get an idea and then you start working on it. The graph goes like this. The interest is very high in the beginning and the excitement is also there. But then it suddenly starts plateauing. And then once you realize that it is a lot of work, you mostly start to abandon the project. So I
as
think a lot of developers can relate to that. So that's all right. That even I have been through that. And how did you find this freelance work? So did you use a particular website or a marketplace or someone you
so
know?
it's a very cool thing that had happened to me. So right after I completed my diploma, so there's again a big gap when you get an admission in your
Mm-hmm.
degree as well. There's a big gap, big gap over there. So what I did is I was like, okay, now I was like 18 or 19, I think, at the time. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I need to start earning for myself, or I need to do something so that I can keep myself busy, and at the time, yeah, making some more interest. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, कि after doing diploma, I was fairly, proficient in programming because of the final year project that I did. It
Mm-hmm.
was something that I had done by myself, not not to throw shade at my other teammates, but
Mm-hmm.
they also did contribute to the project in a very good manner. So one of my friends, I would like to talk about him because he had actually played a bigger role in my journey, because
Mm-hmm.
if he wasn't there, मेरे को नहीं लगता मैं जहाँ पर अभी हूँ, with the technical knowledge that I have right now, I would
Mm-hmm.
be possessing those. So फाइनली अगर प्रोजेक्ट आया, ठीक है, एंड द थिंग वाज कि मेरे पास लैपटॉप नहीं है, आई हैड नथिंग, आई हैड देयर वाज नो डेस्कटॉप बिकॉज सब खराब करके रख दिया था साइड में मैंने.
अभी तक वो
क्या
ग्राउंड हुआ ही नहीं था क्या घर पे?
नहीं नहीं. सो आई यूज्ड टू टिंकरिंग अराउंड ना, आई यूज्ड टू डू टिंकरिंग अराउंड, सो
हम्म.
वो प्रोसेस में
अच्छा,
निकल लेता
बंद हो
था.
गया. अच्छा.
ठीक है. सो एंड आई वाज लाइक, अभी इतने बार तो पूछ नहीं सकते पेरेंट्स को कि रिपेयर करके
हम्म.
दो, रिपेयर करके दो. So at that time, तो मेरे पास कुछ नहीं था. So we actually got in contact with Mumbai traffic department commissioner for a
हम्म.
project. So we had an idea. We presented it to him. He was like, "This idea is actually in implementation. We have another idea for you. Do that."
Mm-hmm.
So and he was like, "10 days, mein, you have to do this prototype thing. If you will be able to do it, then we'll give you the project. You can work upon it, and we'll support you in that manner." So so what my friend did was, my friend had a very good laptop.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, he had i5, I believe,
Okay.
latest generation, a very good. I think he had around 16 GB of RAM
Okay.
and DDR4, and he had a very good graphics card as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very power packed laptop. So what he did was, he gave me the laptop. Okay, he gave me the
Mm-hmm.
laptop for me to carry on through the 10
The
days.
process.
पूरा 10 दिन that laptop was with me. I was to take that laptop with home with me. He had that level of trust in me
Mm-hmm.
कि हाँ भाई इसको लैपटॉप दे देते हैं, and he had newly bought that laptop.
कोई
कितना
और
पड़ेगा
होता तो
मेरे,
नहीं देता मे बी,
नहीं देता, हाँ
और
यस,
या फिर तू भी
एक दो,
वो पोजीशन में होता तो नहीं देता.
हाँ मतलब यू, इट वाज अराउंड 50K तक उसको एक वेरी डिसेंट प्राइस पे मिला था, 50K तक. सो
Mm-hmm.
इट वाज वेरी गुड, बट इट वाज वेरी एक्सपेंसिव. बट ही एक्चुअली हैड द ट्रस्ट इन मी कि हाँ भाई इसको दे सकते हैं और ये करेगा. सो ही एक्चुअली गेव मी द लैपटॉप फॉर 10 days एंड आई वाज वर्किंग रियली हार्ड अपॉन इट. सो व्हेनेवर आई विश टू गेट टाइम, या तो कॉलेज में करेगा या तो जैसे घर पे पहुंचा थोड़ा freshen up or direct udhari.
Mm-hmm.
I used to, because I have to build that MVP. I have to
In
build
10
that
days.
prototype.
In 10
Yeah, in
days.
10 days. And I had no knowledge of Android, and I had a very little knowledge of Java. I was just starting with Java at that moment. So
Okay.
I was like, Java at that time. If you want to develop Android apps, you have to
Java.
only use Java.
Right.
There was no Kotlin back then. So I was like कि हाँ कैसे तो करेंगे. So I used to watch various other videos. There was this other mentor for me as well at the college as well. So I used to ask him कैसे कर सकते हैं ये क्या है, and stuff. And somehow after that 11th or 12th date, I was actually able to make a prototype for him. So we
Okay.
were actually able to do that, and we actually showcased him the prototype, and he was like, very good, well done, and you can continue with the project. And from that moment onwards, I think it was approximately 9 months that he had given me the laptop. It was
Nine
solely
months.
across a year, approximately 9 months.
Okay.
It was there were times that he would take it because it is his laptop. So, but he had given me throughout the journey कि freedom कि हाँ भाई तू laptop इस्तेमाल कर, and I did make damages to his laptop as well. Okay, but he never actually got angry about it. He was so I was carrying this laptop and I was taking it, and suddenly I hit this wall, and the paint of the laptop
Oh,
comes up.
okay.
He saw it and he was like, nothing, कुछ नहीं, कोई नहीं करता है इतना, अभी टाइम हो गया इसको, ठीक है चलेगा. So I'm super thankful for him because अगर वो
You
नहीं
can
रहता,
mention him if you want.
yeah, his name is Marzuk Kadri. I'm so sorry I didn't mention his name. Very good person. Because of him, I have the knowledge. Because of him, I got into app development because
Okay.
we had to build this in a mobile app. So I got into that right now, and right now I see myself building building my career in app development as well. So I'm kind of grateful for him कि वो था,
That's
उसने
pretty
दिया
cool
उतना.
यार. ऐसा कोई
हाँ,
भरोसा नहीं करता आजकल. Like
नहीं
मैं
कर,
खुद भी नहीं करता.
हाँ, न्यूली लैपटॉप है, न्यूली
हाँ, न्यू
लैपटॉप, ठीक है ठीक
लैपटॉप
है.
वो ब्रांड न्यू
हाँ,
है.
तो
Like
लेके जा,
किसी
तो
और
लेके जा.
बंदे को क्यों देख.
हाँ,
या फिर बोलेगा
एंड
तो कॉलेज में बैठ मेरे साथ, मेरे सामने बैठ.
हाँ, और डूड आई एक्चुअली डुअल बूटेड हिज पीसी, और वो प्रोसेस में मैंने ना उसका ये कर दिया था, उसका पूरा क्रैश कर दिया था, उसका पूरा बीसीडी चला दिया था मैंने. तो
अच्छा.
कुछ कूल चलेगा, कोई डेटा नहीं था मेरा, तो कर,
अच्छा.
तो वापस से इंस्टॉल कर दे, बस विंडोज इंस्टॉल करके दे दे मेरे को, बस तू जो भी कर रहा था तो कर, बट विंडोज इंस्टॉल करके दे दे. आई वाज लाइक कूल मैन, कूल.
बहुत सही, बहुत सही.
बहुत सही पर्सन.
तो बोल रहा था तेरे फ्रीलांस के बारे में. So how did you go about that?
So yeah, so after doing this, so as I was talking about, after doing my diploma, I was like, कि हाँ ठीक है, तो अभी कैसा, so I to need to do something, so I went to the same institute from which I learned programming, and I was like job दे दे, and they were like नहीं,
अच्छा,
they were
इतना
like हाँ
सिंपल
resume
था
डाल दे,
कि
हाँ resume डाल दे, we'll see if we have any position available. So I went to couple of these places. There were actually two places only available in my area. So I went there and I gave my resume and I was like कि हाँ मेरे को टीचिंग का रोल चाहिए. First they were like पढ़ने का है, पढ़ने का प्रोग्रामिंग. And I was like नहीं, पढ़ाने का है. तो then they asked a few questions and they were like ठीक है resume दे दो, हम लोग देख लेंगे क्या अगर position रहेगा तो.
okay.
So then I got to know that one of my friends is actually working in the institute as well. So I called him and I was like, dude, एक काम करना, कुछ तो होता रहेगा तो
कुछ तो
देख,
जुगाड़
मतलब
करते भाई.
कुछ तो जुगाड़. So he talked to the director of the institute and he called me. He was like, आ जा तू और तेरे को बुला रहे. So so I had a meeting with him. So he explained me कि ये रहेगा. This would be your incentive for doing this. And he asked me a bunch of about कि तेरा future plan क्या है, तू drop तो नहीं करेगा ना बीच में students को
Right.
and all stuff. So so I was very excited to actually do this because it was firstly क्योंकि मैंने वो same institute से पढ़ा and you have to, and then I get the opportunity teach over there. It's something very exciting, and the stuff that I learned, because sharing knowledge was kind of my thing back then कि हाँ कुछ शेयर करने का है, सब लोगों को बताने का इसके बारे में. So what I got to know is when you're teaching this to people, when you're teaching to other people who don't have the idea or who are with you in the same boat, it actually makes your understanding way superior. It
That's
makes you
pretty true. That's pretty true. So there is a
it makes
great
your
line by
interest.
Richard Feynman on this, on the same topic. So what Richard Feynman says is that when you're learning something, try to teach it to two or three more people who don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So in that way, your concepts will get much better, and you can also pass on your knowledge to people.
Yeah. Plus, it actually piqued my interest in various other things, various other data structures, and itself. It was very, very exciting thing for me, and at that point, I got to know various other people, various other staff that were working. So through them, I got to work with other institute as well, and I actually worked for their official site as well. So I had redesigned the site uh, for them.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you wanted to earn, like you wanted to earn something for yourself when you were 18. So that was the main motivation behind finding a job, or
I wouldn't say that would be the primary motive when I started, because that actually creates a doubt कि पैसे के लिए किया मतलब बहुत सारा.
नहीं, पैसे
But
के लिए करना कुछ wrong नहीं है, मैं बस पूछ
wrong
रहा
नहीं है, but that wasn't my primary motive when I started with it. Maybe it was something back of the mind ये रहेगा कि हाँ पैसा है. But when I started, teaching, I so first day I go teaching and I'm keep on hammering him. I keep on hammering on the student, and the other staff is like, अरे छोड़ दो भाई उसको, क्या कर रहे हो, इतना क्या पढ़ा रहे हो उसको.
अच्छा,
So
got it, got it. So you were keen to share your knowledge.
very keen, and through him, through one student, I got another student, and like that, I got a network. So after they completed the course, I actually taught them diploma subjects as well. So that was also cool. So recently they passed out diploma. So I taught them Android, Python, Python and PHP. I taught them three of these subjects with the focused on their academic thing, and like how I used to teach them practically, more of concept learning stuff rather than learning lines कि हाँ इसका पीछे का theory क्या है ज़्यादा. I used to teach that as well, but primary focus कि conceptually आ रहा है क्या, logic building आ रहा है क्या. That's the main important thing I was trying to teach.
Got it. So coming to my leading question, what is money for you? Like you said that maybe in the back of your mind there was money involved. Like पैसे के बारे में कौन नहीं सोचता है.
Yeah.
So money, what role has money played in your life, or What does it mean for you?
So let me tell you something. So when I did this, so I was earning very little, very little. Matlab, uh, after doing this for 3 4 months, I used to get 1500 only,
Mm-hmm.
approx. If I'm able to make some kind of a milestone, after
Mm-hmm.
that I used to get 1500 for 3 months. Okay,
Okay.
when you talk about it, very less, very less.
It's not very
But
much. It's very less.
that's not very much. So when I got the what 1500 for 3 months, I was like क्या है ये? मतलब तो कुछ नहीं है ये तो क्या है ये बहुत ये but that actually didn't stop me there कि मतलब that actually didn't hinder my performance over teaching them. So
Mm-hmm.
but I was कि like कि हाँ क्या करना है इधर तो इतना कम मिल रहा है कुछ करके मतलब नहीं है.
Mm-hmm.
So so I decided कि अब ये continue नहीं करना है तो
Mm-hmm.
I will do something else. So so after that I actually worked with classes in which I was teaching
Mm-hmm.
Java. So
Okay.
purely Java, Jade, I was teaching them, and it actually made a lot more money than
Mm-hmm.
3 months 1500 rupees, because there were quite a few more students. And
How did your like lifestyle did you notice any change in your lifestyle when you were like 3 महीने में जो 1500 कमा रहा था तभी
हाँ.
लेट्स से तो 2 चाय पी रहा था रोज का पर जब भी तूने तेरा इनकम बढ़ गया डिड यू नोटिस एनी चेंज इन योरसेल्फ
Yeah, so when you have access to money in the very beginning, you just उड़ाते रहते हो. You go crazy, man. You go crazy. Uh, but when you start understanding stuff, yeah. But it actually also taught me the value of money,
राइट
because when you are in childhood, or when you are very small, you don't actually know the value of money or the things that you have that cost money. Okay, uh, so that actually taught me ki, why we have to struggle this much for earning this little. Okay, and my parents, what they have done is so much, and I've never been so grateful to them. I've never said thank you to them. Even if they bring stuff, I was like नहीं ये नहीं चाहिए थोड़ा दूसरा दो ये चाहिए. So at that moment you get to realize, and you gain that you gain that respect for them. After after this experience, after earning this 1500 thing, then I suddenly I saw a very much growth in respect for my father. I was very respectful to him. So when I got a decent amount of money from the classes were teaching the Java classes, so I made sure that I bought a gift for him, so as a token of appreciation from my side to him.
That's
So
very
yeah,
sweet. Yeah, that's very sweet. So basically, you got a
and
life lesson very early on
yeah,
in
yeah,
life, which
uh,
people don't get.
well, yeah. So there is another thing related to money that I would like to share.
Yeah, yeah.
So recently, I joined organization. So it was through referral. So my friend referred me to an organization. I actually worked with my friend, who is a friend of friend. So
Okay.
that's how you get to know people.
Right.
Networking is in this industry is very important. Go out there, meet people that share the same passion as you do. No matter where they are in their journey, even if they are beginner, you contact them, because that actually creates opportunity for you in the future. Because for example, for me, the one student I had at the institute led me to another
Right.
another student. Then I
One
was
one
teaching them
person
separately.
can one person can bring in a lot of opportunity, like different avenues for you.
Yeah, yeah. So that as well. So I did. So you got to go out there and talk to people, and you need to create network. That very is essential. And in the near future, even if you don't see the result right now, you might see it in the future, and that would be a lot more rewarding that you might have thought.
Right.
So it is very
So you
Uh,
said you were introverted or you are still an introvert. So
yeah. So
so how hard was it for you to change that, go out, meet new people, interact with new people? Because for some
it's very
people
hard.
it
It's still
can be very anxiety inducing or very
yeah.
nerve
So
wracking.
so uh, and let me tell you about. So after that, did my diploma. So as I said, that seats were dropped,
Mm-hmm.
10% seats. So I didn't get a very good college. So I got a college very far away. It's in Panvel. It's far away from Panvel as well. It's around 30 kilometers. Rasani is the location name. So I used to go there in the initial stages. I used to go the first time I went there, I was like, man, I would never go to that college. I was like, just le lega, or somehow something I will
Pass ho
do,
jayega.
some arrangement that
Mm-hmm.
I so that I can not go to college every day, still manage to pass the classes. So, but in initial stages, में I went थोड़ा this there, and I had, I used to get this anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
It used to hit me very randomly, and it would affect me physically. Okay, I wouldn't be able to breathe. I had to had these problems as well. कि मतलब that anxiety कि भाई इतना इतना दूर आ रहा है मैं कॉलेज के लिए, and the quality of education in engineering is not what you expect it to be.
Right.
Okay, it is very it's a very sad reality that even like I said, do your research, read the syllabus. When you read the syllabus, you get actually very excited because
Mm-hmm.
there are various stuff that are listed and you have just
Which
seen them
looks
over the internet.
interesting on paper, but then when professors come to teach it, you
हाँ,
feel
yeah,
that
yeah.
मैंने तो मुझे लगा है और कुछ होगा, अरे चल तो और कुछ रहा है.
So it is so that was one of the things that actually led me to have these anxiety attacks that I used to have in the
Mm-hmm.
middle, and it used to have happen randomly, and I used to like क्या करूं मतलब कुछ समझ भी नहीं रहा है.
Mm-hmm.
And the travel made me very exhausted. I used to when I used to come back home, I was like कि और क्या ही करेगा मतलब I was to just sleep
थक
on the bed.
जाता
I was
था
like
पूरा वो. हम्म.
पूरा exhausted. There was nothing that I could have done. So that is there. But somehow uh, I managed to overcome that anxiety. Uh, Maybe I should thank COVID over here because because of that I was able to not go to college but still able to pass.
Pass.
Yeah, still able to pass. That's it has been COVID has been very boon for me as well as
Bane.
not
Bane
so
for
boon for me
others.
as well. Yes,
Yeah, that's interesting. That's so basically COVID came to you as a blessing in disguise.
blessing. Yeah, yeah.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. So I'd like to ask you about your future plans now. Pretty important. So what are your plans this year or next year? Where do you want to be in
So,
like at by the
so
end of the year?
yeah. So like I was talking about this organization that I recently joined. So before joining, I actually did research about them. So they appear to be a very good company, and I actually talked to the CEO. I got to meet with the CEO as well, and talking with the CEO for the first time, it was like, that is what I'm looking for. The things that I'm looking for in an organization were there because he was talking in that language. In that sense, I was very excited to join that organization, and they actually offered me the position with decent money. Money that was I was expecting I should get, not it was high from what you will get from your campus placement.
Right.
It was in terms of that it was very good because at that time when I got the opportunity, I had an offer from Reliance Jio as well. I still do have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I'll be able to enroll myself when I graduate.
Got
Uh,
it.
so in terms of the money, it was very good.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started working in the organization, I realized that the things that I was looking for were not there. The
Okay.
things. So what I was looking for is, there should be code review. There should be someone who might be instructing me about, the architecture of the app. talking deep about development itself. So that was something I was missing. And
So,
what I used to do is I used to find these bugs or inefficiencies in the system we were developing. So I used to talk to it about my lead or to the other colleagues that are there.
mm-hmm,
So I used to let them know कि हाँ ये issue है, and I used to prepare a document for that as well. I used to
mm-hmm,
create a document as to why this is what it is, what's the reason, and what I'm saying is that true or not. I used to share a link also. Okay,
got
what I'm saying is correct because there is a documentation link over here that says that it is what it is.
mm-hmm,
Okay, so but after working for them for a 1 month, I realized that I shouldn't be working here. I don't think this is where my initial career should be. So I was very frustrated at that 1 month because I after a week I realized this कि इधर नहीं हो पाएगा शायद. I need to
वो
go
प्रॉपर
out.
फिट नहीं था तेरे लिए अभी के लिए तो.
But the money was good and the hours were good. People were good. It was not like the people
Company
were rude or
culture
something.
wasn't what you're expecting it to be.
Yeah, in terms of technical side, it wasn't what I was expecting. But
Mm-hmm,
rest of the things about the work, about the flexible schedule, it was there, and it was there. But I was missing that, and I had good money,
mm-hmm,
and it is a lot harder for you when you have this opportunity where you're earning very good money, and just to
to give it up
you're having
and
this thought
walk
कि छोड़
away.
दो.
Mm-hmm,
हाँ, you leave that opportunity. बहुत मतलब बहुत stressful रहता है वो. But
mm-hmm,
in the end I made the decision that I don't want to continue in the organization. So
mm-hmm,
I did talk to the CEO once again, and I let him know that these are the things that I found here, and I don't think so that I should be continuing here because I don't think so. These are all the things I was looking for were not there in the first place. So he did actually gracefully accept those feedback and told me that I do understand that you want to work in an organization in your early career where you find all this technically strong standpoints. If you think that it is not this company is not the place, you can actually leave.
mm-hmm.
So one of the interesting thing that I left is I had signed a 2 year bond with them.
Okay.
So he was kind enough to actually
Wave off. Oh.
waive off that 2 year contract.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it was a lesson for me that when you are looking for a job, it is to all the people who are young adults looking for a job. Don't compare a company or don't look at the package.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what the company is doing and talk to the company employees first and see what their experiences are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go to their LinkedIn's, check who guys are working there. Try to get in contact with those guys and talk about their experiences. And when you
Good.
go attend the interview, ask the employer at the end that what is it that your company is offering me in
Mm-hmm.
terms of other than what the compensation is.
Right.
Okay,
But not
compensation
in
is
kind. What? So basically, other than monetary compensation, what?
what is that they are offering
Got.
you,
Got.
because that is a very important in your initial career. Because I've seen people, so this is also I've seen in people that they in other careers that
Mm-hmm.
they actually focus on
Money.
not what they are not liking the work, but they do it because they are getting the money.
Right.
But that is not the approach you want to take,
Mm-hmm.
because leading because if this becomes your pattern, at some point you wanna go and there is a break point that will hit you, and at that point you will have various other responsibilities as well. Because let's say you continue this to 30 years and you have a wife with you. You
Mm-hmm.
can't just leave your job at that point because you have someone else who you have to support to, right? So
Right.
you can't do that. In the initial career, it is very possible because uh, you are still living with the parents. And if your financial condition is good, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is one of the conditions as well. If the financial condition is good enough that you can still continue without earning that much. So you should actually take it and not continue and
Right.
look for other jobs. Look for jobs where you think your passion lies and they also share the same passion, the things that you're looking for in terms of work, not in
Right.
terms of compensation, in terms of work.
Bas-
Look that first.
Basically, while starting out, instead of the compensation, you should try to surround yourself with people who are going to put you get your level up rather than make you complacent and make you just working 9 to 5 for the paycheck at the end of the month.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
So another thing that I would like to share is so this remote work due to COVID, we all are doing remote work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one of the thing that I noticed when I was doing this remote work, it was that remote work is very good for senior developers who are
Right.
working, who have worked in the industry for let's say 3 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It is not good for young people who have just started their career. Okay,
Got it.
because I used to because there was this
You don't
very
get to
vast.
interact with the people.
Yeah, yeah, very. It was a very vast
You don't know
communication
how the
gap
company actually works, how the
works.
dynamic works with the
So
people
what
around.
I did was I used to set up one-on-one meetings with other teammates of mine or the people I get to know about that
Mm-hmm.
he is one of the people that is working. So I used to set up one-on-one meetings with them so that I don't have that. But I still found that when I was working with the team, I used to find this delay. I was not able to go on the back of a people. Let's say you're in an office, you can go to your colleague and just tap on his back and say कि यार ये नहीं समझ रहे ये
The
क्या चालू है
the
help me with this.
communication is faster while you are
Yeah,
facing communication. Like it
yeah,
was a
correct.
delay. Yeah.
So you will find people talking about the great benefits of remote work, but when you are very young in the tech industry, you will find that remote work would not actually give you the benefits that it shows. Okay, it is something.
It doesn't
Uh,
offer a lot of growth for
yeah,
new
correct.
recruitees basically.
Yeah, and I totally agree. There are ways to circumvent this, but it is still it will be a dream problem.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. So coming to your this year's goals, what are your personal goals? This became like technical, personal life में कुछ goals है like you want to achieve this in this year.
Yeah. So the personal goal has been for me for this year has been for the past year has been to actually get to interact a lot with other people. Try to have that this conversation not in terms of technical कि हाँ
Mm-hmm.
भाई इससे बात करना है कि जिसको वही आता है जो मेरे को आता है कुछ नहीं.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to a wide array of people who have different careers apart from what I'm doing and listening to those stories and their experiences because
Right.
it will actually help you grow. First of all, it will help you grow in various manners. It will actually teach you lessons that you wouldn't have learned in your journey. You
Mm-hmm.
get to know other people's journey and you learn from them, and that is what I'm trying to do here. Basically sharing what I have learned over these years to you. And one of the things that I think is important is uh, from diploma. From diploma, I have noticed that people used to never ask questions. People
Mm-hmm.
were afraid of asking questions just because they might other people might find it stupid. Okay,
Right.
so this is one of the worst things that you can do to yourself
Mm-hmm.
in anyone's career or in any student who doesn't ask questions basically is kind of ruining their own life
Right.
not life in terms of their time over there because if you have a doubt just raise your hand and ask it कि हाँ नहीं समझ रहा ये क्या बोल रहे हो आप. So
Mm-hmm.
I had seen one of these videos, a short video, wherein one of the investors. So he had this friend who was a C-level executive. So he asked the investor friend to sit with him.
Mm-hmm.
So in the meeting, there was going to be a presentation, and so there were people around him who were all C-level executives, all the people who have done MBA and stuff, these great courses in terms of business, and he was just there alone guy who has no that kind of knowledge to understand, to have competed in
Mm-hmm.
that room. He was just there because his friend asked him
Yes.
to be.
Okay.
And they, after the presentation got over, he raised his hand and he said that I didn't get what you were trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And what he saw there was that the other C-level executives over there also
Mm-hmm.
didn't understand, but
But
they
no
were
one said
afraid to
anything.
ask.
Got it.
Yeah, they were afraid to ask the question because they may have seen that if I ask this question, I may
बाकी
look
के लोग
stupid.
क्या सोचेंगे कि मुझे ये भी
Yeah.
नहीं आता है
Never
क्या?
think that. Never think that. Never think that. And in diploma time as well, I used to see people, saying कि अरे यार क्या पूछ रहा है तू और टाइम बढ़ा रहा है तू मत पूछ ये सब रहने दे तू एक काम कर उनको
जा
घर
रही है
लेके
तो
जा
जाने दे.
हाँ जा रहे तो जाने दे but if you have the doubt just ask it
So,
don't
तो
worry
मैं
about
पर्सनली भी
this.
कभी डाउट्स नहीं पूछता था और आई फील इट इज़ वन ऑफ द मेजर ड्रॉबैक्स आई हैव इन माई सेल्फ कि दूसरे लोग क्या सोचेंगे इसका. तो
Yeah,
आई गेट योर
it
पॉइंट
is
और
completely natural. It is completely natural to have this, but you can actually overcome this
you can work around it. It's pretty easy.
pretty easy. Just ask the question. There will be always people, who are well, whatever action you take,
There
there
are
will be
always
people
going
who
to be
will be
people
like
who are
questioning
going
your
to
accuracy.
or not going to agree with you, who are going to say
Yeah,
कि
yeah.
क्या
They
है.
will
तो
actually try
it's
to,
fine.
you
Like
say that you are stupid, but don't listen to them. To ask what you need to ask, and that's it. Even if you think it is a dumb question, just ask it. Just
yeah,
ask it.
right. So I noticed a pattern in the conversation we're having. You talk a lot about your journey. So
Yeah.
one deep question, or I don't know if you can classify it as deep. What is more important to you, your journey or the destination to which you are taking the journey?
Okay. So very good question. What I think is the journey, the destination is the place you want to reach, and that's fine. That's good. Okay. But the path that you take actually teaches you a lot more rather than the destination. You might think that if I reach this destination, I will be, successful, or
Mm-hmm.
you have this other metric for you to, have a feeling of, compete. कि हाँ, कुछ हासिल कर
कुछ
लिया.
हासिल
But
right.
the journey that you went through is very much important because that actually teaches you lessons that you wouldn't have learned just if you have directly dropped onto that destination. हाँ डायरेक्टली डेस्टिनेशन पहुंच गए उससे आपको कुछ सीखने को नहीं मिलता but the journey that you take, the failures that you face are the things that you actually are important rather than the destination itself.
Got
I
it.
think there are various quotes around it.
So, on your journey, do you keep reevaluating your destination, or is your destination fixed and your journey changes accordingly? Your like you get
So
a new experience, and your journey changes its track instead of your destination changing its
So
position.
right now, what I would say is I'm just exploring, man. I'm just out there doing stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have a particular goal in mind, but I do have on this one thing that whatever I'm doing, I should be, able to serve my family
Mm-hmm.
well enough, well from what I'm doing currently right now or they are doing currently right now, and that is enough for me. I don't want to be, there are some people who are like, I want to be a startup, I want to be a startup founder, I have to
Mm-hmm.
do this big thing, I have to be
High
into the top 1%.
aspirations. Yeah.
Yeah, the top 1% people, I have to be one of those people. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want that. I just want a simple life, a happy life where my family is, happy. I have good friends, I have good company. That's it.
Okay.
There's nothing more than that. And people might find it mediocre, but I think at the end, what you're looking for is happiness.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking to have that sense of happiness that you have achieved something or you have done something that you are proud of. And I think uh, having family around is one of the great things that you can do.
And it
Uh,
is everyone's personal choice how they visualize
yeah,
success for
correctly.
themselves.
And
For
it is good
someone,
that
it
some people.
might be making a unicorn startup. For someone, it
Yeah.
might be,
So
making sure that their parents are doing well or something
yeah.
like that.
So I actually am grateful that these are people that exist that want to be in the top 1% because they are the people who are actually they are the people who are very different from me, and they might be contributing to the society first of all, and they might be the one providing me opportunities. Okay,
Right.
so it's a very
It's an ecosystem where everyone is important.
yeah, correct,
Everyone
correct.
plays their own role.
Well put.
It's like the uh, what do you call it? The apex diagram we learn in school. There is
Hmm.
the hunter. Then there are like herbivores, carnivores. So everyone is equally important to maintain the balance in the ecosystem. Yeah. So मेरा philosophy बहुत हो गया. So
Hmm.
one of the biggest question which I face a lot of times is तू तू अगर अभी डिप्लोमा के फर्स्ट ईयर में होता तो अभी के नॉलेज गेन से तू खुद को क्या एडवाइस देता टू योर पास्ट सेल्फ कि अरे ऐसा लगता है ना कभी कभी क्या यार मैं फर्स्ट ईयर डिप्लोमा में इतना चोमू था यार ये सब करता तो मे बी आई वुड हैव बीन इन अ बेटर प्लेस सो
uh,
इज देयर एनीथिंग यू फील लाइक telling your younger self or someone who is in first year diploma or first year engineering who
So
can
first thing that I would say is to my younger self, ठीक
mm-hmm,
है, तूने बहुत सही डिसीजन लिया कि मतलब तूने अपना पैशन चूज किया, सबसे पहले सही डिसीजन लिया,
mm-hmm,
because as I said, there are people who actually go into different this career just because of what other people have said or some other reason. It is not their passion, so that actually becomes a problem when you have come a long way for that.
mm-hmm,
Another thing I would say is uh, basically to be more active, talk to people,
mm-hmm,
because as I said, I was not very I was very introverted person. So I would say go talk to people. Don't afraid of the rejection that you might face. Be a little more confident,
okay.
and I think that would be something. And for this very thing, what I have done is, and what I think is everyone should do is maintain a year log. So what do I mean by that is, so I have this document. I just started this last year. So what I did is I had keep this document name as year log, and what I do is I give it a title year, and write stuff that I've done this year. Let's say in this year I've done this kind of internship. I will write that,
Mm-hmm.
and I would write the lessons that I've learned in this year as well. So let's say I learned today that I need to be more confident. So I do write that in that document itself. So it is something that is very, uh, very helpful for you, because you get advice from you, and who is better to give you advice to you than you itself.
Right, right. That's pretty interesting. I don't think I've heard of that, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's like continuously introspecting on your own life कि क्या
yeah,
चल रहा है,
yeah.
क्या होना चाहिए.
And when the December months hit, you don't get the feeling कि अरे भाई एक साल तो चला गया
कुछ
पर कुछ
नहीं
किया
किया.
नहीं. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you have the document there, you have those lines written. So that document doesn't need to be career centric.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Just
include
general. Yeah.
social things as well. I have included those things. I have included things like I started to learn bike again, how to ride a bike. I've
Okay.
written various other stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet this person as well, this old school friend of mine. So
Okay.
so that all stuff I
Basically,
also
whatever
write.
happens in your life, it may be a
Yeah,
small breakthrough or a large breakthrough. You
just
can
write
include
that
it.
down. It is very helpful, and
काफी
write the
सही,
lessons as
काफी
well.
सही.
Very,
ये आइडिया
very helpful,
पसंद
very
है
helpful.
मुझे. बहुत सही, बहुत सही.
Because when you are in some rut, when you're in the mud, you basically have something to look back, and you have a material to look for
Got it.
and get the motivation, I think.
Yeah, you can see when you were what right things you were doing or what you might need to change when you're in the mud. So
Yeah.
ये बहुत ऐसा ऊपर ऊपर का बातें हो गया. Let's come to lighter topic. So what are you doing? Like अभी टाइम पास के लिए क्या कर रहे हैं? टीवी शोज, मूवीज, क्या कोई
Okay.
फेवरेट टीवी शो, फेवरेट मूवी?
Right now, I'm trying to watch Shark Tank. So
अच्छा,
Shark Tank.
तेरा
I
फेवरेट
haven't
शार्क कौन है अभी तक?
अभी तक. So in terms I really like Ashnir Gaur because
वो तो
the way
सब
he,
चिल्लम
the way
चिल्ली
he
शुरू हो
puts
जाता
stuff कि भाई ये तो दोगलापन है, अरे ये तो मैं भी कर दूंगा।
ओ
तो बहुत
अश्नीर
सही।
ग्रोवर पे केस हो गया भाई, तूने सुना क्या?
पता है, I have heard about it. So that is there, but I do like the fact that how they are interacting. They actually throw shades upon each other. You know, that is very fun.
इट इज वेरी रियल, इट इज नॉट फेक।
Yeah,
लाइक
yeah, I
सब
do know
अच्छे से
that.
घुल मिल
Uh,
रहे हैं, ऐसा भी नहीं
yeah,
दिखा है।
it's very good.
तो शार्क टैंक के
Act-
अलावा क्या?
Actually, I made a comment. So one of I don't remember the name. So one person just tweeted out this. Yeah, Namita Thapar looks very cute. Okay, so I replied to him कि मैं इससे relate नहीं कर सकती, so I'm out. And I got like 30 plus likes on that comment. I was like, fuck man,
नाइस।
क्या है ये?
ट्विटर
Nice.
सेलिब्रिटी, ट्विटर
Yes,
सेलिब्रिटी।
yes. So right now I'm trying to, improve my Twitter game as well. I'm trying to share all the stuff that I've shared right now and all the tech things that I learn across
So you can
my life.
plug your Twitter, you can plug your Instagram right
Yeah,
here.
I'll try to, I'll share this with you. You have it already.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
No, you can tell your at also in case anyone.
it's Gupta underscore Srinath. Srinath is spelled as SHRI, not double E. Please don't type double E. And
How much problem have you faced? Because Srinath can be Srinath, Shrinath, Sreenath.
it's not about more what face have been writing, but with people. Some people are like, "Are you the great Indian bowler, Sri
Shri
Shant?"
Shant, वो
And
तो
yeah,
श्री
and all
शांत
that,
है भाई, कुछ
Sri
भी।
Shant. And whenever I say my name to anyone new, they mispronounce it for sure. And even the people I've known for years have kept my spelling wrong, double E. They have kept double E. I was like,
अच्छा।
change कर dude, क्या हो गया? इतना साल तो है, इतने साल तो सामने इतने बार मेरा नाम लिखा है, मैंने क्या कर रहे हैं?
So guys, follow Gupta underscore Srinath, right?
Yeah,
I'll link it in the description anyway, but
yeah.
apart from Shark Tank क्या चल रहा है? कोई शो देख रहा है या फिर
Apart
कौन
from
से
Shark,
स्पोर्ट्स में इंटरेस्ट है, ऐसा कुछ?
so sports में तो इतना कुछ इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. Recently I've started working out because due to COVID I had belly fat, so I've kind of started working out. I do running and I do this. There's this
अरे pretty
workout
cool.
app.
रनिंग
Yeah,
कितना रन करता है?
I don't have the exact thing, but there's this small ground nearby. So I go
Okay.
and I do 8 laps of that.
Okay.
Initially I used to do 10 laps. Then after that my leg said to me कि नहीं भाई नहीं हो पाएगा इतना. So I was like ठीक है 8 करते हैं, 4 का break लेंगे. I was
Okay.
like ठीक है
तो
चलेगा.
तू स्ट्रावा यूज कर सकता है, अगर तूने सुना है तो। स्ट्रावा ऐप है।
Okay.
So basically it tracks your like all types of workouts. If you cycle, if you run, if you walk. So
Okay.
I use that. So even I run. So मैंने last year एक basically resolution, New Year's resolution भी नहीं, resolution बनाया था कि मुझे 5K भागना है एक बार पूरा 5 किलोमीटर्स एक साथ एक
Okay.
स्ट्रेच। तो मैंने शुरुआत की सितंबर में, अक्टूबर में, धीरे धीरे। सो अभी वो कीड़ा बैठ गया रनिंग का, तो मैं भी थोड़ा बहुत रनिंग कर लेता हूँ। बट
Yeah.
यू शुड डेफिनेटली चेक आउट स्ट्रावा, क्योंकि उस पर पूरा ट्रैक रहता है एंड यू कैन एनालाइज कि कितना टाइम हुआ, हर लैप को कितना टाइम लग रहा है। सो यू कैन इम्प्रूव योर सेल्फ अगेन लाइक ईच
Yeah.
रन। एंड
Okay,
तो बोल
so
रहा
there's
था।
this cool thing also I need to share. I
Yeah.
think I should share. So whenever you're trying to build a habit, so Seinfeld had this technique. If you don't know Jerry Seinfeld, he's one of the
Yeah, Jerry.
American comedians, very good comedian in the 90s. Okay, so he had his thing. So whenever he used to write now, so he wasn't able to write in a continuous manner. Days after days, he wasn't able to write. So what he did is he had this calendar. So what he used to do every day that he write, let's say if he writes on the first day, he used to cross that, and so that actually motivated him to do it the next day as well.
This
Because
is
you
this
see,
is what has motivated Snapchat streaks also, भाई। वो
yeah,
स्नैपचैट पे
see,
400 के सामने जब भी आग दिखता है, तभी लोगों
yes.
को क्या होता है मुझे
I
मालूम
was
नहीं।
never on Snapchat
I
actually.
was on Snapchat and I deleted it. So
I was on Facebook and Instagram. but it has been 2 years and more, and I've deleted those my account and I've never turned back.
Okay, so your main.
Actually, one cool thing. The reason why I deleted it, I was very. I did have my reasons that I wanted to delete it uh, but if I wanted to talk to it about the other person with the other person, I was to feel like कि नहीं justify नहीं हो रहा है जो तुम्हें बोल रहा हूँ ना वो justify नहीं हो रहा है. Then I watched this social dilemma and I was like, fuck. मैं जो
अच्छा.
सोच रहा था yeah, that link has created. So for some people it will be like क्या बोल रहा है, but it does make sense.
But
Uh,
I feel anyway your whole information is online, so like क्या ही कर लेंगे अभी. सब information है तो कर लो use अभी क्या.
yes, so these technologies, are designed. They hire special people just to make this system very, addictive.
Yeah.
So anything that you take in around the world, anything can have its uses and its misuses as well.
Right.
So it is one of the things.
Mhm.
Right now, I'm not on Facebook or Instagram, but I'm on Twitter, actively on Twitter, trying to
What
be
do you
active on
think of
Twitter.
what do you think of Twitter? Do you like it?
Twitter is a fun place. I would say very fun place. Yeah, you will actually you can get addicted to it if you follow the right people, and you follow because right now what has become initially it was like Twitter was like serious stuff you डाल सकता है तू, so you would not put out funny things. But right now it has evolved into something which can include serious stuff as well as funny content. So it is much more enjoyable. Right now, you can see this with LinkedIn as well. So if you right now,
I hate LinkedIn. I'll be the devil's advocate, but I don't know. It's really I don't know. I open LinkedIn बहुत depressed हो जाता हूँ मैं पहली बात तो. I got placed here. I am doing my masters here. मैं बोला okay भाई, I'm not going to open LinkedIn.
So whenever I open my LinkedIn, I get this feeds like I got accepted in Google. I got accepted.
Yeah, exactly. I got accepted.
Yeah.
No, there is another kind of post. I would like to inform my network that I got offers from Google, Amazon, Netflix, what are all the fangs, and after a lot of deliberation, I've decided to go ahead with Google. I'm like, wow. तो बता ही देता भाई गूगल में लग गया है क्या है सर इतना क्यों डिप्रेस कर रहा है
पोस्ट एंगेजमेंट भाई पोस्ट एंगेजमेंट अच्छा है
और वो तो बहुत बकवास होता है वो होता है ना रिएक्ट टू दिस ट्वीट रिएक्ट टू दिस पोस्ट डू यू लाइक जावा और पाइथन तो जावा के लिए हार्ट बनाओ पाइथन के लिए वो बल्ब बनाओ
So there was this thing, मतलब है ना UI वाले UI designer used to do this thing.
हाँ,
you do like this or do you like this?
I've seen that.
I was like, of course I like this right one. This one is the best. Of course. तू एक गंदा डिजाइन बनाता है और उसके बाद में एक अच्छा डिजाइन रखता है उसका सेम अच्छा वेरिएंट रखता है और तू मेरे को बोलता है चूज मतलब क्या उसमें क्या है चूज करने जैसा है क्या उसमें
लिंक्डइन बहुत घटिया है मतलब मुझे पर्सनली नहीं पर वो एटलीस्ट मतलब मैं सिर्फ ओपन करता हूँ जो भी कनेक्शन रिक्वेस्ट है वो सब एक्सेप्ट करता हूँ
yeah it does remind me of one thing else so after my one of the first company that came into my college was LTI. So we had the exam and the questions were based on DP, dynamic programming. And I have never done that. So I was like, kya bhai, kya tha? Somehow I was able to write my code that passed through the test cases that were there, but the hidden test cases, they all failed. So I was like, kya ho raha hai? So I went on to LinkedIn, not right after, but I was scrolling through LinkedIn and I find people sharing the same thing. So I was like, me too. They were having this DP question and they were offering this amount of compensation. I think it's unfair and stuff and like that. So one of the people who was working as a robotics engineer reached out to me and said that we have a position at our company. So would you like to interview for it? So at that point I was like, cool enough. क्यों नहीं करेगा अपन? So I got to know about the company. It was an automation company, and they offered me a robotics position. And that experience was very good because what they asked me after I had the conversation with him, he asked me a couple of questions about C++. I had done C++, but the thing was, it was way back ago, and he asked me some questions. I wasn't
नहीं
able
यार.
to answer them, or I didn't give a proper answer. This were these things, but I did answer a few of the questions, and I think I did a very good job at it. So he was like, we actually think that you can do it. And he understands that I've directly, he directly messaged him, and then he directly called me and started the interview. So he was like, it's okay that I can understand that you are not prepared for this, but we have this thing set up. So there is this thing called ROS, which is which basically helps you in robotics. Okay, in
Okay.
robotics, when you're developing a robot, yeah, it helps you in that. So he told me that go download this tool and try to experiment this stuff. He sent me a problem statement and he said कि ये करके दिखा. Okay,
Okay.
so somehow I did that stuff. I have this in my GitHub profile. You can check it. Interview task. Under
Okay.
interview task, I basically add all the interview tasks that I have done. So I have also added it for the Flutter company that I was working for, and this automation company as well. So I did work around. It was very fun for me to learn about robotics because I've never done that. And what I found was that the implementation of the algorithms that you find when you're learning this algorithms, you will not find the exact implementation or the immediate implementation. But when you're learning robotics, you'll find places where you need to implement this thing. So it was a very cool experience for me. Unfortunately, I had to decline the offer, but it was a very good experience for me. Uh, and yeah, it was a very good
नाइस
experience.
नाइस. वैसे लिंक्डइन काफ़ी अच्छा होता है कभी कभी, पर बाकी
Yeah,
टाइम
and
बहुत बकवास.
uh, and they were offering the job location was at Nagpur, and I was very excited.
अच्छा.
हाँ भाई first time कि
न्यू
बार बाहर
सिटी.
जाएंगे, yeah, new city and all stuff. But unfortunately, it was very unfortunate that I couldn't join. But it was a very good experience. I have the task and the code for that I have written. It was not a perfect code. First of all, let me tell you. So he did tell me that your code was not the code that you look for, but it was somewhere around. ठीक है
It
मतलब
was
चल
pretty
जाएगा
good
ऐसे.
for a beginner ऐसा.
Uh, you might say that. I have a article written about my interview experience as well. You can
Okay.
check it out in my GitHub. Sorry, not
I'll
in my
link
GitHub.
everything in the
Yeah,
description.
in
Yeah.
my Geeksforgeeks profile, you can go over there. I've written bunch of other articles as well on blockchain, and I've written it on my interview experience plus Android development plus Flutter as well. So you'll find 10 to 11 articles over there written by me, and some of them are edited articles. Some of the articles have been improved, and I would like you to and actually go there and see. I think it's a very good content for beginner perspective if you're looking for. I
Yeah.
also write at Medium as well, so please do check out that as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put everything of Srinath's whatever he has mentioned, his GitHub, his LinkedIn, his Medium, his Geeks for Geeks. Everything will be in the
Yeah.
description. His
So
Twitter. So yeah, so I think we'll wrap it up. So I think my final.
one thing. There's one
Yeah.
thing only I have to say regarding Geeks for Geeks. So I got an internship with Geeks for Geeks as a technical content writer, and I think this internship is actually available for everyone who can write 2 articles from them and get them reviewed by them, and they will actually post it on their website. So after
Okay.
you have done these 2 articles, they offer you this internship where they pay you, and you have to write 10 articles, around 10 articles, including that two. If you are able to do that, then they will pay you. And I think it is a very good experience. So for anyone who has just, who is exploring stuff, or who has done something, you have done some project, go there, just write about it, about it in Medium as well, or Hashnode or Dev.to. Write about it. Write about what you have learned, because that actually helps you in your online presence as well, and it also creates it also helps you in growing yourself in terms of technical content.
And online presence is extremely important in
Yeah,
this
very
day and age.
important. The situation that right now we have, it's very important because you can't meet people. Because earlier they we used to have various meetups across,
Yeah.
in Mumbai. There were too many meetups going around, but right now due to COVID restrictions, they are not happening. There are online, things, but it is a lot more difficult because you're sitting at home and you choose people who you want to talk to about.
Right.
But and I think Twitter Space is one of the best thing right now to hop on. If you
Okay.
just follow the people that you find in your field or have achieved something, or you follow like the content, go follow them. You'll find that they will be hosting such Twitter Spaces. Go there, just join in, listen what they are saying, hop in and out, try to speak sometimes. It
Yeah.
will help you create your online presence and try to be active. If you are on LinkedIn or any other social platform,
Hmm.
let's say in terms of career, go to the post where you see your career, okay, and just write about the things that you have your thoughts. Just write those, because that will help you gain audience as well. So as I talked about the what do you think? So this thing, Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy who
Reply.
posted कि
Yeah.
Namita Thapar is quit, and
Hmm.
cute, and I told him, "She, I'm nothing, I'm out." Oh, wala thing.
That was
So
a very witty
from
reply.
that I have gained so much followers. I've gained around 6 to 7 followers from that comment.
Oh, that's great.
So
That's great.
and for me it is very high.
It
For
is
some
very
people
high.
it not. It is. So for some people
Followers
it
on
won't
Twitter
be.
are extremely tough to, like, first of all
Yeah.
convert them and keep them
Uh,
engaged.
and do follow them back as well. You can do that.
Hmm.
Please do that, because that will actually, and never go into these numbers, but it is kind of you get that satisfaction, or you get the reward. I do know that. I do get that right
There is a
now.
rush of, मुझे follower मिला. There is a dopamine
Follower.
release in you.
There is a dopamine release, correct, but don't fall into that game, because if you go into that rabbit hole, you'll never come out.
Right.
It
Yeah.
is there's chaos. So have a line. That's it.
Yeah. Words of wisdom. So yeah, I think we'll wrap it up. It's been quite a long time. I had a lot of fun. So any closing remarks you'd like to make, or how would you let the people know how your experience was?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much for having, and thank you if anyone who has made this far. I'm very grateful that you have made this far, or even if you have attended the first 15 minutes. I'm very grateful that you have done that. And I think what I think is, if I'm able to convey what I've learned through my journey, uh, do get if you get to know that, and if you learn something from it, it is a rewarding experience for me. And if you have learned something, do let me know. Do tweet about it, or just DM me. My DMs are open on Twitter.
Mhm.
Uh, and do follow me on Twitter as well, because I'm trying to do this thing where I put 2 tweets in a week,
Okay.
so I put this the lessons that I've learned, or the things that I find new, or the
Hmm.
questions that I have. So do follow me there. I think you'll find great content over there.
Okay. And how was your first podcast ever?
Yeah, this was my first podcast ever. I'm very excited. I was very excited to do this. I'm still excited that I've made this far, and yeah,
And
it's
I would like to
been
point out Srinath reached to me, so he took the
yeah,
initiative. So
uh,
I would like to thank him from my side for coming on to the show,
yeah,
because
man.
it's not everyone is comfortable, and it takes a lot of I would not say guts, but yeah, guts to come in front of the camera and talk to people and tell them your life journey. So thanks a lot, Srinath. And if you could ask people to subscribe, that would be great.
Yeah, please subscribe to this podcast. Had so the first podcast that I listened to, I made it through the entire 1 hour thing, and I think the rest of the people who will be getting onto this podcast will also have such impacts on you as well. And I'm going to be a permanent subscriber of this channel, and I think you should too.
Yeah, that.
That's
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Srinath. I hope you had the same amount of fun as I had interacting with you.
yeah, man. Thank you
And
so much for
thanks
this
a lot.
experience.
And hope you all the best for your 2022.
You
Hope
too,
you
man. You too.
hope you achieve whatever you set out
And
for.
to everyone else, you can do great things. Just focus on your career, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Srinath, and we'll
Thank you,
see
thank
we'll
you.
see you again. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.